Hey guys, it's Kel. I'm going to show you how to do a quick Mechwarrior mod. Just show you the basics of it. Here is the list of files that I usually modify. Up top here, that's your project file. That's everything that contains all the files in the game. And I'll show you what we do when we open that. What we're going to be doing is the BWD or binary files, and that contains all the geometry, the tags, and the info that we're going to swap. Right here, the scenario files, that's the ones that I usually mess with when modding missions. The scenario files are the mission folders. The first 4 letters correspond to the name of the level. In this case is bronze, just an example. When we go in there, we find inclusion tags for all the rest of the files. That's what INCL is. And it's got the briefings, the debriefs, the music track. I'll show that to you in mission tables. The big ones that I work with are the world files. The world file is a total inclusion of all the geometry, whereas an area file is a portion of that, and you'll see those in there. Sometimes you'll see weird tags in there like DRP, and that would be an example of a dropship sequence when you see those in the missions. The planet file is the gravity, temperature, is the atmosphere hostile, and the palette is within the planet folder, and that's the colors of the atmosphere, the camos, and etc. You got the scenery file here. Sometimes these have them, sometimes they don't. It's rain, snow, rocks, sometimes those little pebbles on the ground that you'll see. User star, that's you and your enemy mechs, and sometimes you'll have friendly stars in there, and they look like this one here. And then instant action looks kind of like this, and the leave looks like here, and your nav points look like that. But I'll show you the basics here of what we do. To mod, you're going to want to get a hex editor. I use hex edit. It's free, simple. And what I do here is I go into the folder where the game is and open up the project file. And we'll start with modding Devon, the instant action map. And the way we figure out that is you can do the Control F function and search Devon, and it'll pop up here. And this is the file that you see here in the briefing when you load up the menu. It says right here, the Trial of Grievance map, Devon. And there's your mechs that load up, and the enemy mechs here. But this is what we are concerned with, those 4 letters there. That's how we know the name of the map that we're going to mod, Ched. Okay, so the map is Ched, and I'm going to look up Ched scenario, and I always put that dot in there because that searches for the actual file. Looks like that. Then we hit find, and that is the file. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up the stock mission just so you can see what it looks like. I mean, you know what it looks like, but show you the basics of it. Unmodified.
A call to trial. Justice by combat.
Trial initiated. Full class
I'll show you again.
Image enhancement.
So I already did some work with this, but we'll keep doing work. Alright, so anyway, this is the file that we're concerned with, is the scenario file. And you can see the inclusion tags it's telling it to load the briefing files, the formations, and the tracks. Now, when we're modding, we're looking for what's called tags. And they are the first 2 bytes before the file name. Like you see right here. Those are tags, like right here. Sorry. Like FC00, that's an example of a tag, and that tells the game to load that particular file. What I used to do is just swap the tags by looking up the file and then using that, but that was too complicated. What I figured out is if you actually put in the tag FFFF, that will tell the game to load a file by that name in the project file. FEFF loads external from the file, but FFFF is internal. So that makes it a lot easier to mod. And here is your music track. And you can see right here, track 13. I want to set it to, say, 15. And let's see. And here's some of the sound files that it loads. A mission table that is for every star has a mission table. I don't know exactly all about that, but it's a work in progress. I'm still figuring things out. And that tells, let me get that out of the way. The trial loads up the sound for that, but we're going to change it up. Now we're just going to leave it. Trial Jade Falcon. Let's do that. Yeah. Change that up. Okay, here's the big ones. See, I already changed this to FFFF, but you can see that it's loading Jack Planet. That's from a different map. But let's do Prov. And I happen to know that's from that ice planet on the instant action menu. And then instead of the city, we're going to swap this tag out. Yeah, that way we can load whatever we want by typing in the name. We'll do silver. Okay. And then we're just going to hit save there. We'll load our mission back up and give it a play.
A call to trial. Justice by combat.
Trial initiated. Jade Falcon protocol. Alt systems nominal.
Yeah, so we loaded the Jade Falcon trial start. We got the different soundtrack in here, different planet, different objects.
Image enhancement engaged. External camera
Just for fun, this is one of
engaged.
the custom effects that I made. Yeah, and you can actually, if you want to, add more stuff in there. These, you can mess with them if you want to. I really don't. These are the start points for each of the mechs. 0, 1 would correspond to you, and then each one after that would be for each corresponding enemy star. But you can swap this out. We'll do one more, and I'll show you. We'll do blonde. We'll switch it to blonde and hit save. And give that mission another load and show you. Now you can do the same thing too. You can search the actual world file and you'll find the area files within there. And you can even swap those area files world files. So you can have world files within world files if you want to load up a bunch of cities and hills and mountains if you want.
Trial initiated. J Falcon protocol. All systems nominal. Image enhancement engaged.
Alright, so this is the Morges Dome City. You know, some palettes don't work as well as others, like the Ice Planet palette obviously doesn't do too well on the buildings here, because it just covers them in the same color. Doesn't work too well. But yeah, it's Dome City. I'm going to change this up. I'm going to give those buildings the proper color there. And I got to close this out every time I need to mod the project file, otherwise it won't save. So what is that? We're going to do, we got the blonde world, so we're going to change this to blonde planet. Hit save. And now that should be the correct corresponding color palette or a planet file. I mean, I could change the palette file within the planet file, but it's just easier to do the planet file since it's right there.
Trial initiated.
There we go.
J Falcon protocol. All systems nominal. External camera engaged.
Yep, correct color. Everything's good. Now, I know this mission doesn't have good gravity for jumping around buildings, so what you would want to do is
External camera
actually select
engaged.
the planet file that has the gravity that you want, and then change that planet file's palette file so you have the correct color scheme but the gravity that you want, and then save that. But yeah, that's your basics on how to mod. If you got any questions, feel free to DM me or see if I can help you out with anything. And those are the basics. Maybe you'll find something that I haven't run into yet, but let me know what you think. Have fun.